To me, domestic violence is abuse of either physical or mental against another human being within a relationship or within a kind of marriage or civil partnership.
I think domestic violence is violence inside of a home in a domesticated area. It's something that shouldn't be allowed, really. Full stop. I've been in it myself and I don't like it.
Violence at home between two people close to each other.
It's violence, isn't it, really? It's a violent relationship where they both should start seeing each other.
I know it's obviously something that's not very ideal in this obviously situation, and I think it's something that maybe people could find out more about. I've heard of it, domestic violence, but I've never heard too much about it. I think I could find out more information.
Beating people up.
Oh, like when you get beat up by your husband or wife?
Not a lot, because we do not do domestic violence, and 45 years together should prove it, shouldn't it?
Well, I think it's beating the woman up. I don't know, I think it's verbal abuse, psychological tactics, stuff like that.
Any sort of violence to any other member of a household, really.
Where the men beat up the women.
People like going around trying to hurt each other. People just acting irresponsibly and like just going after each other for no reason.
Where a partner or a parent, anyone verbally or violently abuses someone.
Anybody really.
I tend to think of both men and women. People kind of locked into a relationship, I imagine.
Girls in the 20s, like, they really aren't really sorted out their life, really.
Mostly women, innit? People with depression, people with postnatal, schizophrenia. Girls. Like more older. Yeah. Women. Any age group.
Any age. It's wrong, but the majority of the time I'd say that obviously the weaker person in the relationship is more vulnerable to it. And I don't mean weak as in physically strong, I mean weak as in emotionally attached.
Women. Older women, like 30, 40-year-olds. Women in a relationship, I think.
Yeah, it's mainly young people, like in their 20s to the 30s.
Well, the thing is, it's usually the people that you least expect, from what I've seen.
It can be anybody. It really, really can. It's not always the person that you think that's the one that seems either the most strongest, and it can even be the person that you see to be the most weakest.
There must be specific people, I don't know, people that have been abused as kids maybe, people whose parents went through that kind of stuff. I guess so.
I think it's because the women, they like cheating on the boyfriends and stuff.
Domestic violence, yeah, it's like it works both ways. It's like if you're a woman, you're in a relationship, yeah. If a girl's gonna act up and go on in a wayward man, and she's big enough to throw bangs at man, she's big enough to take one, innit?
I don't know, some psychological thing from their childhood, or I don't know what.
Past experiences, general, like, to be honest, there's no excuse you can give for it, because it is on a human level wrong. So there's no excuse to give.
It just seems to be some sort of, it's almost like there's a culture of it happening in the background, and you hear about it, but you never think it'll happen, and then if you actually find somebody who's had it, half the time they don't understand how to stop it, or they don't know. So I think it's just a culture of people not knowing how to deal with it and not knowing how to deal with their own issues. But it's people's issues that make them do it.
Drink mostly. Other reasons as well, but drink mostly. Drugs. Yeah.
Money.
Because 90% of it's for alcohol. And probably drugs as well.
Because men are a lot stronger and they take advantage.
Oh, I think violence is such widespread now. It's so easily accessible, like to see it and hear about it. It just happens. I mean, I'm not like blaming games, I'm not blaming anything like that, but people these days need more to get a thrill out of things.
I think because a lot of people at a younger age are becoming sexually active, and I think that might have, that sort of might contribute to the fact that they are taking their relationships more seriously, and then they start getting themselves into a situation like with the media believing that, that people, should be sexually active at a much younger age, or children feeling like they have to be. And I think that might contribute to it.
You could put it down to maybe a background of domestic violence, so some people who do it see it as the example that has been set by their parents and stuff. But I wouldn't say it goes in the family, because I'm not saying it's a genetic thing. I'm just saying if you see it happening around you, you're more likely to think of it as more acceptable, or like this is a norm, rather than it's wrong.
Like drink and drugs as well, with younger people.
I don't think enough people know about it, but most people don't care about it. I think it's something that does need to be widely expressed, definitely does, but it's also something that not many people want to talk about and not many people want to hear about, because it's not exactly a nice subject and most people are usually going through it themselves and they try to deny it.